I had the pleasure to have a conversation with Juli, also known as Juli Work in Progress. I've been sharing her content on social media since she started her fitness journey 1 year ago. Today we're celebrating her 365th day of getting healthy. In this podcast, we talk about her why, the ups and downs she experienced during this 365 days, and her goals for 2024. Have a listen.
Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm talking to you.
I'm a little bit starstruck right now. I've been following
Oh,
your journey, and
it's the
first
other
of
way
all,
around.
congratulations on your big 365 days of getting healthy. What are we at right
Thank
now?
you.
367, 368.
368. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, I
congratulations.
was trying to decide, do I start over with day one? And my kids were like, "No, you've been doing this for over 300 days. You got to keep
Yeah.
going."
No, keep going, definitely. I mean, it doesn't stop and restart, right? Like
Right.
you're still on your journey. And oh my gosh, I mean, first of all, congratulations. I think this is such an amazing thing, and we should celebrate you. And like you said, it doesn't end here. We're gonna keep going. And I just wanted to chat with you. Finally, for
Yeah.
a long time I wanted to talk to you because you've inspired me so much since
Oh,
you tagged me for the first time. I guess, if we turn this into a podcast, which I think we most definitely will,
yeah.
for people who don't know who you are, but I'm sure a lot of people do because every time I post about you, like I sent you some screenshots of people messaging me thinking that it's you, and they're just sending words of
Yeah.
encouragement. But for those who are new followers, I want them to know who Juli is, and your journey in the last 365 days, and even before that, because I know a year ago you did decide to embark on your journey, but I'm sure there were a lot of things prior, and a lot of little attempts that you might have done, and you finally got into the groove of things, and inspired so many people along the way, including myself. But I
Thank
do
you.
remember the first time you tagged me a year ago, and it was day one of getting healthy. And I truly love that. I love how you start all your videos with day one, day 100, day 365 of getting healthy. And it's almost like a mini diary. And that's why I enjoy watching your videos, because they're so raw, and some of them are touching, and just inspiring. And I just wanted to talk to you about that today.
Oh,
So
well, thank you. I'm honored.
uh,
Um, Yeah, I mean, I've been following you for longer than a year. I saw a lot of your videos, I saved a lot of your videos, and I'm like, oh, I might be able to do that. This was before January 2023, day one. And I, but I, I didn't have the, I didn't have the confidence in myself. And I just felt like, I'm too old to start. I'm too, I'm just gonna have to realize that this is what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And I don't know what it was. I mean, I've tried so many things in the past, and, a lot of I mean, a lot of my issues stem from, you know, I don't have a thyroid. So that already is a dig. It's a knock against me. I have a history with weight in general, stemming back from childhood. And I mean, I was always a thin child, but weight was always first and front and center.
mhm.
And 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 then as an adult, gaining weight, I gained like 75 pounds when I had my first child, and I never really lost it all after that. And I just kept. And then I'm also an emotional eater. I suffer with anxiety and depression. So all of this built up over the years got me to where I've been. And I've tried many different diets, Weight Watchers, that and so forth. And when I have success with them, but then I stop and gain it all back. And I think I started doing some videos prior to this this time.
Mhm.
And I was just talking about like, oh, this is what I did today. Thanks, And
Mhm.
but in the meantime, I was watching your videos and I was like, this is pretty amazing. I mean, what you're doing is stuff that I think I could maybe possibly do, but it took me several months to really, try it.
Mhm.
And then that day one, January 1st came along and I was like, you know what? I, it doesn't matter who sees me on TikTok. Nobody follows me from my family or friends or anything. So I don't have a whole lot of followers. So this is probably a safe place for me to actually post videos of my workouts and just be accountable to myself. But then I can look back and say, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, I don't know what got into me to tag you, but I think it's because when I did the first video afterwards, I cried and I was like, I did it. And it was because of you. And I wanted you to know that. And so that's kind of how this started. You really were very inspirational in my start. So thank you so much.
And that that fills my heart. I mean, you know, I have a lot of followers, but and a lot of people that do tag me, but that day that you tagged me, I could really see it in you that it's something that you definitely wanted. And um your approach of now that I understand it a bit more of kind of making it for you to be accountable and looking back at your personal diary. So now I kind of understand why it's formatted in that way. And um I just think a lot of people could be inspired by how you took that approach. What made you want to start day one officially and start your journey? Because looking back at it and seeing how far you've come, it's like you've planned it all out. You kind of
Yeah.
had a path. Obviously, there were some obstacles, a lot of obstacles along the way and ups and downs, but you were on a mission. And what made you want to start that mission?
Um, okay. Well, I think a couple things. I have four kids and three of them are in their 30s and my youngest just graduated in 2023. And I had for 3 years, we had been planning a trip to the Dominican Republic.
Hmm.
And for those whole 3 years, I was like, yeah, I'm going to lose like 200 pounds. This is going to be great. And a year would go by and I didn't lose a thing. And so when the year started and I realized I only had 9 months before we were going, I thought, I want to be able to enjoy it with my daughter because it's her graduation gift. And I wanted, and my boys were coming too, and I wanted us to enjoy it as a family, and I didn't want to be a burden.
Hmm.
And so I think that was really my motivating factor to start at day one, January 1st.
Hmm.
And I had no rhyme or reason what I was doing. And you tell me that you think I had this really path all thought out. No, I did not. I every day I thought, okay, this might be the last time I do this for quite a while. But then I started getting these really nice comments. I thought I would get a lot of trolls, and I really haven't gotten a lot of bad. I really haven't gotten a whole lot of negativity. There's been a few here and there, but nothing major. But the comments that I was getting, the people, the things they were saying, and then I was getting these DMs, and it made me cry. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know what to do with this. But I can tell you, I've made friends.
Hmm.
I've found people that are in the same situation with me, and we've been able to help each other. So as much as I may be an inspiration to these people, I mean, everybody's an inspiration to me. You guys are all keeping me going. And I don't think I would be, I don't know if I'd still have the strength to do it without this great community.
I absolutely agree. Our community is the best, and when I first started my social media journey, when I decided, okay, let me help people on social media with my expertise. Um, I think I did get a bit of trolls because I was kind of in the wrong vertical, in the wrong category, not wrong category, but I don't know if you know my journey when it comes to coaching, but I started off as a coach doing your stereotypical things that other coach would be doing, trying to, you know, talk about getting the six pack abs and
Yeah.
lifting extremely heavy. And I thought that was the thing that you were supposed to do as a fitness coach. But then when my sister got cancer, we started taking this health and wellness in a different direction where it became more about um, just being a stronger and um, healthier, not just physically, but mentally, and using fitness as a way to cope and just improving your quality of life, whatever that may be, just in small increments, and just using it to become a happier person. Anyways, when I shifted to that, it was a completely different community. People that actually have their fitness goals are actually deeper and bigger, but actually have more meaning. And because of that, the community I discovered was a lot more supportive and loving and caring, and everyone is kind of here for the same thing, right? To
Yeah.
improve their quality of life, and it's not just about the aesthetics. It's about their why,
Hmm.
and yeah, these whys are deep. What is your why? I know, like you mentioned at the time, it was the vacation to Dominican Republic, but you also mentioned your children and not being a burden. Do
Yeah.
you want to elaborate on that?
So with my boys when they were young, I was active and we lived out in California and I took them to the beach and we played beach volleyball and we were active and we did a bunch of fun things. And then I got remarried and I had my daughter and I went through um a difficult breakup and just spiraled. I mean, I was just really depressed and moved back up to Minnesota where my family was, and I just felt like for most of my daughter's early childhood, I felt like I was not really there for her the way I should have been. And then when she got older and I couldn't do these physical things that I was able to do with my sons, it really, sorry, difficult. And I felt really guilty, like I wasn't being a good mom. And I found, would have to help me. She would have to wait on me. She would have to help me do things when she was still a child, and I should be doing those things for her.
Mm,
And so now, it's my why is so that I can live for her instead of her having to, you know, be there for me, right? It's my turn. And I don't think it's ever too late. It doesn't matter how old they are. And that's my why. I mean, now it's all about, especially too, when we made it to the Dominican, and though it wasn't how I wanted it to be. I still had to be in a wheelchair while I was there, but I was able to get out there with them and we really had fun, and it just motivated me even further to start doing more so that we can travel more.
mm. Yeah, that's definitely deep. And your daughter has been supporting you along the way. I see you posting about her, and you're actually working out with her, or you worked out with her a few times, and she came to a few of your pool sessions, encouraging you.
Oh,
That's
yeah, when we go to the gym, she goes and works out and I go to the pool. And then she comes back and then we sit in the hot tub together.
that's great, and that
So
makes good family time as well.
yeah. Well, I'm hoping that because the gym that we go to, where she works out, it's upstairs and it's quite a bit of a walk.
Hmm.
And so it's just walking to where she works out would
Hmm.
be my workout. So, but eventually I'm hoping that I can get up there and work out there too with her. So,
Great. New goals for 2024.
yeah.
So during those 365 days, I've noticed that obviously you've done some of my routines, but you also along the way included, like we mentioned, the pool exercises, as well as you work out on your lunch break at the office, at the
Mm-hmm.
gym, and you're doing all
The
these
gym.
weights. I love when you post, you're like, hey, I was able to do this on the treadmill, or lift this weight or use this machine. Tell me about, everything that you've discovered and how you've progressed during that year, and how it, started and where you are now.
Um, yeah, well, when I first started, I could barely do a 10-minute. I think the first video I did was 6 minutes, to
Yeah.
be honest. And now, I mean, though I'm still, I do some 20 minutes here or there, but they're still around 15, or 15 to 20 minutes, I guess.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that I can handle it a little bit more throughout the year. Um, but yeah, I mean, some of, no offense to you, but actually, thank you. But some of your stuff, I can do it now, and I
Mhm.
need to be a little bit more challenged.
Yeah.
So, but see, the fortunate thing about it is you have a lot more than, I mean, you have so many videos to choose from. So it's really nice to have that, so that on those days when I can't do as much, then I can do this video. And when I can do a little bit more, I can do this video.
Yeah,
And
and I don't take offense to it. It actually makes me happy to hear, because that's the actual goal of my workouts. Um, I've said to a few people who've emailed me, they're like, I started with your program as a stepping stone, and now I'm at the gym full fledged, or now I'm doing these more intense things. I'm like, it actually makes me happy to see someone graduate and move to their own thing, because I did dedicate my career to helping true beginners or people
mhm,
with lower mobility. I did dabble in the intermediate stuff. Like, as you see, there are a few workouts that I did with Kathleen that are more intermediate. But I also didn't want to split my focus and be too focused on doing the advanced stuff. Eventually, we're going to include more intermediate stuff, or maybe one level beneath intermediate, so that they can continue with that stepping
mhm.
stone. But I'm truly dedicating my life and career to being that stepping stone for people to discover that. But so it makes me happy to hear that, like, when you
Yeah,
say they're a bit too easy for me now, that makes it great, because day one, like you mentioned, you did 6 minutes, a 6 minute video,
yeah,
and to see you progress, that's true progression. So
yeah.
yeah,
And
that
I
was
think now, so I'm fortunate because I do have some friends, coworkers that really work out hard in the gym, and they're very knowledgeable what they're doing. So they're there to help me. Um, but I haven't been doing a whole lot of that. I've been more on the treadmill and then going into one of the rooms and doing your workouts. So, but I definitely am planning on incorporating that more. I really want to do more strength training this year. And I'm starting some physical therapy for my knee, and it's going to be all in the pool, which I'm super stoked about.
hmm. Hmm.
So, and then also a friend of mine from high school, we reconnected on Facebook, and she is doing this month, she's doing like a walk challenge.
Yes, I
So
saw
every
that. Yeah.
day. Yeah. And so um I told her that I was gonna get it. So this summer, even if it's only like a 5-minute walk, I'm walking with her at some point this summer. I'm walking with my daughter at some point, and I'm gonna walk with my sister-in-law at some point. Those are huge summer goals for me. And I'll tell you what, my thighs, my thighs hurt yesterday. And it
How
wasn't
much?
even a very long walk.
What did you do as a walk? How far did you go, or how long
It
was it?
wasn't very far. It was probably about a 3-minute walk, which is weird because I can do a 5-minute walk on the treadmill.
Hmm.
but I think it's because I walk faster. I walk really slow on the treadmill because I'm afraid I'm going to fall.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but I have I guess my pace is getting a little quicker, and so I walked. I mean, it was farther than I expected. I
that's
didn't think
great.
I could walk as far as I did, but I have a coworker who also challenged me and said, Julie, you can do more than you think you can. So I went, all right, I'll stop right here and walk.
Let's talk about that a bit. When it comes to mindset, I think that's so key when it comes to fitness and your journey. And I'm sure you've had a lot of obstacles. What was your mindset, and how did you overcome these obstacles mentally? Because it's so easy to just skip a workout and say I'm too tired or I'm too much in pain. How did you keep going throughout this whole 365 days? And what was different this year? Um, like you mentioned, you've started your journey in the past and quit. How were you able to be more consistent this year or last year?
Um, I think it's twofold. First of all, I have not stopped that self-talk. I still have it. I still don't feel like I'm worthy, and I still don't feel like I'm going to succeed in 2024. And I look back at 2023 and go, yeah, but I didn't lose the weight I wanted to lose. But then what was different about this year, and why that doesn't matter to me, that I still hear that in my head, is that I intentionally decided this year was not about losing weight. It was about getting physical and being more active. And every time I got down on myself, when I weighed myself and the scale didn't go down, I was like, that is not the point of this year. The point of this year is to get off your ass and move.
Mhm,
And I accomplished that. So I did exactly what I wanted to do this year. The difference with this coming year is I realized that I actually really do have to lose this weight. I mean, I did lose weight.
mhm.
Not as much as I wanted to, but I did. But so really I'm going to focus a lot on nutrition this year and get myself healthier that way as well. But
Yeah.
the self-talk is still there. But the difference is my other voice in my head is saying, I don't care what you're saying. I'm worthy of doing this. I'm worthy of being successful. So I don't care what you say. I'm going to do it. There are days, however, when that self-talk is there, and I guess I've learned some tools where I can say, all right, you know what? I'm going to let you have a break today because I can see that this is really not a good day. And I allow myself to have that. And then the next day, I say, all right. The night before, I say, all right, you had your day today. Tomorrow's a new day. And it's been working. There have been some days where it took 2 or 3 days, but
Yeah.
it's kind of been working.
And that's the journey. I mean, not every day is going to be, not every day that other voice is going to win. But when you look
Yeah.
at the macro of the year, that voice was much more powerful and much
Yes.
louder than the others. So, yeah, keep feeding that voice and um, keep talking to yourself in that way because it's working. And I want to talk about those non-scale victories because they're so important. You mentioned that weight loss wasn't your main goal, but it will be in 2024, or at least it would be an important part of your 2024. But non-scale victories are extremely important. Do you mind talking about some of the non-scale victories that you achieved throughout the year? I mean, the vacation is one big thing.
Yeah.
Other
That was huge.
smaller
Getting on a
non,
plane
yeah,
was huge. Um, yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of things that people who don't have weight issues just take for granted. For example, going to a restaurant. and sitting in a booth or a chair or whatever. I and I don't know how long I'll do this, but I feel like um I'm less stressed about going to restaurants now because I've found the last few times I fit in the booth,
Mm.
or the chairs are better. You know, they're a little bit more comfortable. But so with my back issues and stuff, something that's probably going to always be an issue. But going to restaurants, I don't feel as stressed. And I didn't put that in my because I didn't really think about it, but that is true. I can walk further. I I can stand in my kitchen and make my full breakfast
Yeah.
without having to sit down at the table. I can actually stand for the entire thing.
And
Um,
sometimes you do exercises as you're washing the
and
dishes.
sometimes I do, yes, I do. Well, that helps me stand longer.
Yeah.
so, so of course I do. um, and yeah, I mean, I have more energy. I'm not, you know, when I get done working, I'm not going and sitting in my chair and watching TV. I'm actually, you know, doing something, you know, and if whether it's getting up and going to empty the dishwasher, or, you know, or going downstairs, because I tend to in the winter, I tend to hibernate in, you
Yeah.
know, up in my room after everything is said and done. I'm not really doing that this year. I'm not. I'm actually I'm actually being much more productive. So these are good things. I One of the biggest videos that I posted that was really difficult for me. I made it, and then I thought, oh, this is way too personal to post, but I did it anyways. And I'm glad I did, because there are a lot of people out there that deal with this too, and that's a lot of doctors. And I went to um, I went to a doctor, and I had this was when I was having some UTI issues. And of course, you know, you have to get up on the bed and scoot. And I I did it without even thinking,
Yeah.
where in the past I needed help and I would ask for help. I
Mhm.
never asked for help. I was strong enough to do it on my own. And that was huge. Of all the things right now that have happened, the visits to the doctors, because you know I had many of those this year. The visits to the doctors and the fact that I didn't have to ask for help was huge.
Mm.
And also the fact that I literally advocated for myself when things didn't go right was something I couldn't have done in 2022. I
Yeah.
didn't have the confidence. So
I think all of those are important and important to look at and to also celebrate. And you don't really like you mentioned, for other people that take it for granted, it's not something that they think of. And it reminds me of my sister when she um, would celebrate the fact that she could actually do the laundry herself or go from the couch after chemo and make herself a meal and not ask her partner to make it for her.
mhm.
And doing little exercises here and there instead of just laying in bed. And in the end, it was kind of like a chain reaction. You do one little thing and then it gives you the energy to do others, and not just the energy, but like you mentioned, the confidence, which is so key.
That is important. Yeah.
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 And I'm just so proud of you and seeing everything that you accomplished. What I noticed the most, maybe not the most, but what I noticed a lot recently, from because I was going back at your older videos, um, seeing what you've done. It's obviously the energy and how the way that you speak and the tone of your voice, but mostly also the creativity. your creativity when it comes to content creation and
Oh,
how you create your no, it's true because myself too, when I'm more sedentary or in the past when I wouldn't move much or when I was going through some things, mental health things after my sister passed away, that kind of puts you in a rut. So, you not being physical or you not moving, it also causes a train reaction for you to have lower creativity. And for you, I know you launched something really special, a book,
I
a journal,
did. Yeah. It's a digital self-care planner. Yeah.
a digital self-care planner, and I'm sure that wasn't easy to create, but you definitely did that. Let's talk about that. What is it exactly, and what was the process of creating that, and why did you create that?
Oh, well, um, I wanted to write down, start writing down how I felt. And, I mean, I go to therapy, so I was talking to my therapist, and, one of the things is, journaling and that type of thing. And I've started that in the past, and I've tried to do all these things in the past. And so I design in general. So I actually just got on, started, designing something really cute and whatever, just for myself. And I started saying, oh, well, maybe I want to track this and maybe I want to do this. And so I just started compiling things. And then after I started doing it, I thought, wow, I mean, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And maybe I can help other people. Maybe they would be interested in something like this. So I did a lot of research for several months, like on Etsy, because I know it's a very big, people really love self-planning, planners and journals and things like that. And I know being digital is pretty cool. And I thought, wow, maybe I can figure out how to do this. And I did, and I decided I wanted to share it with people. And then I got this crazy idea, which I don't know even, I don't even know how it's going to work. But that this year I would launch a series on YouTube, and just every
Yeah.
week I'm just going to do a video on, let's ask these questions and how did we do this week and this and that. And maybe I should go live. I'm terrified to go live, but I suppose at some point this year I'm going to. But yeah, I did my first one this past Sunday, and there's been a couple of really good comments, and I'm hoping people will share, and it's really exciting, And if
Mhm.
and if not a lot of people join, it's okay too, because it's still another accountability for myself.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually some other people will see it and want to join.
And I would love to promote that for you. Where exactly
Oh, thank
can
you.
they join and follow you on that social media platform?
Um, it's Julie Work in Progress on YouTube. It might be Julie Dash Work in Progress. I can't quite remember
Mhm.
right offhand. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'll
that would
put it
be
up for
great.
you.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And where can they purchase your journal?
Um, that is gettinghealthygifts dot com/Etsy. I'll look that up too.
Yeah, I'll post it on screen when I do post this. I'll put a link as well.
Thank you. That's really nice of you.
Of course, yeah, anything to support you. I mean, you've supported me all this time and whatever I can
Yeah.
give back to you for sure.
Well,
And
and let me tell you, and hopefully I was going to talk to you about this. Um, I love affirmations, and
mm,
so I made some affirmation cards too.
yeah,
And I've decided that I need to do a set after I'm doing, you do that every week,
yeah.
do this, set your attention. And so I'm going to grab all of yours this year, and every one that I get, I'm going to put in a card.
Oh,
And,
that's so
and
sweet.
then this is going to be the Justin Augustin affirmation cards or something.
I
If
would
as
love
long as
that.
you're okay with that.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, I was inspired by my sisters. It was definitely something that helped her along the way in her journey, and not to give up hope. And it helps me too. And I think it helps everybody, right? Just setting your intentions
It
and
does.
repeatedly talking uh, nicely to yourself. And
Yeah.
I think I experienced that the most last year when Kathleen and I ran our first half marathon. And we do workouts, but it's never something that we could that we ever thought of doing, because in fitness there are different skill levels, and when you focus on one thing, and I'm mostly mobility and strength, but I do the gentle stuff. It's not so much what I used to do in the past, but cardio has never been my strong point. Yes, I'm great at cardio for everyday life, and I can, do some sports, but running a half marathon or a half marathon was never in the cards, at least is what I thought. So when we were
Mhm.
training for it, um, listening to music was great for motivation, but it could only take you so far. So at some point, you have to just really talk to yourself. When you think that
Yeah.
you're done, it's not necessarily true. Like, what your friends were telling you. It's like, oh, you can do more. And you actually can. You just have to talk nicely to yourself, and give you those words of encouragement. So it worked so well for me. And I would repeat my own affirmations as I'm running. You are strong, you're capable, you can do this.
Yep.
And just the difference that it makes. So talking about motivation, what and I know I say this kind of like grinning, because you know how I feel about the word motivation, but what motivates you, and are you always motivated? Because a lot of people ask me, how do I stay motivated? Or I can't exercise today because I can't find the motivation. Are you always motivated? What do you do when you're not motivated? Because I don't think you were
Um,
motivated 365 days
I
last
am
year.
not. I am far less motivated than I am motivated, to
Mhm.
be honest. But um, you know, I think when I have a good day and I reflect on it at night. Like I reflect on my days now and really think about what did I accomplish today? What were some of the things that I was grateful for today? And these are some of the things that I have in my self planner that I ask at night before I go to bed. Um, and what am I looking forward to the next day? And I think now I've been doing this for I haven't been doing it for very long because I was really busy just trying to compile it. But probably the last few weeks I've been doing it since just shortly before Christmas, where I get really depressed around Christmas. Something happened after probably the third or fourth one where I something just all of a sudden I'm motivated like in the morning to get up. Like I may be, oh my God, I'm so tired. Maybe I'm not going into work today, but then I'm like, no, but I really want to. I want to see people,
Yeah.
which is also new for me. So because I believe it or not, I'm very introverted. And so I've really enjoyed working from home. Um, but yeah, I think just reflecting on my days and the day before and thinking about what I have to look forward to the next day or what I have to tackle the next day and figure out if I'm really prepared and I know what I want to do, I'm usually much more successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if one of my goals this time is on a Sunday is my prep day where I'm going to prep my meals and I'm going to prep my physical activity for the week so that I know exactly what I'm going to do every day for physical activity and how I'm going to go about doing it. That way, when I'm not that motivated that day, I can't say, oh, well, I don't have anything prepared anyway, so never mind, I'm not going to do it. This way I can say, look, you already know it's a 20-minute video or it's a
Mhm.
15-minute video. It's 15 minutes. You can handle it.
Yeah.
And and that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now in
Yeah, I think
2024.
I think you make a great point, is the fact that you are prepared, or you at least set your intentions. And when you're not motivated, you have it in front of you, and you're like, well, I wrote it down. So regardless if I'm motivated or not, it's on the task list. So I have to do it, right?
Yeah.
And as much as you say that you didn't have a plan in 2023, I did see that you had something laid out at the beginning of the year. I knew that you were going to go
It
far.
was
You are a
something
very,
clicked.
yeah, exactly. But I think that's important. You bring up a great point, when and for people who are constantly searching for that motivation and kind of freestyle it, setting out a plan ahead of time could be a great way to not fall into that trap of, you know, not doing it when you're not motivated. And then the next day, you're still not going to be motivated. And then all of a sudden, you're only motivated on Mondays or on the first of the month when I announce my new challenge or when someone says that's a new
Yeah.
challenge. Um, well, I think everybody is motivated right now. It's January 3rd. So for like a whole week, everybody's like, yay, new year, new me, I'm motivated. And you went through this, right? Like you started on January 1st. What's your best advice for people to continue on even after that first week, second week? I usually see it after the first 3 weeks. That's when people start doing it less consistently. And then it's just once every few days, and once every few weeks, and once every few months. And then they kind of do it mid-year again. Like, what did you do to avoid those traps of the New Year's resolutioners? What's your best advice for them?
Oh, well, first of all, I would say if you're starting out like me, sedentary, like I did, um, the day is long, right? I mean, we've got 24 hours in the day. You're up at least 12 hours. 6 minutes, 6 minutes. It's not that much.
Mm.
Even if it's just you're you're gonna get up and in from your chair. Well, why don't you sit back down before you get up again? Just even any tiny bit of movement on those days where you don't feel like doing something is good enough, and you are worthy. No matter what you think, you are definitely worthy. There is a reason why you wanted to start this. So remind yourself of it. If that means you have to put notes up around your house to
Mhm.
say, oh, yeah, by the way, this is why I'm doing this, do it. I don't know if you're aware, but I'm going to be 60 this year. And I thought I would probably, like I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be 60 this year. I don't feel like it at all. And I
Yeah,
don't
it's not
I
guessed.
don't look like it.
No, you don't look like it at all.
um and so but it's still in the back of my head that, oh my God, you're too old for this, you're too old for that. But you know what? Age is just a number.
Mhm.
60 is the new 40, maybe 60 is the new 30, who knows? It's just a number, and I feel
My grandmother is
better.
100.
Exactly. My dad is going to be 91.
Yeah.
So I feel better today at 59 than I did at 46.
Wow.
I just do. So I don't I I I think it's worth it no matter what. I really intend on being as physical as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can, because I feel like there were a good 10, 15 years that I wasted.
Yeah.
And I know that's not true. I didn't waste them. I had to go through what I went through, but I'm done with that part. That's chapter is over, and I have my coping skills, and I feel good. And I think everybody just, you know, if you have been following me, this is really important. If you've been following me for this last year and have been messaging me or comments saying you're motivating me to get off the couch, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you telling me that. And I'm so happy. That makes me so happy. If you have messaged me and said, I hope I can do this soon. Well, soon is right now. Do
Yes.
it, because I know you can. I know you can. I'm living proof that you can, and I have faith in you, and Justin has faith in you,
You.
and I know you have faith in you. You can do it. 6 minutes. Just start with 6 minutes.
That's beautiful. And I think that's important. It's just believing in yourself. Everyone believes in you. It's just believing in yourself is so important. And like you said, even writing it down on your post-it notes right by the mirror and
Yeah.
repeating those affirmations over and over again and doing what you can at the beginning is key because
Yeah.
then you slowly build that confidence. Oh, I walked 3 minutes today. Wow. And then the next day it could be 3 minutes again, or 3 minutes and a few seconds, or even if it's less, you still are doing something. I always tell people that's why I started doing those 1 minute routines, because I know they're going to do the 1 minute, but they're going to do 1 minute and it's going to make them want to do more, or maybe do a couple
Yeah.
more rounds of the 1 minute. I struggle with the same things that a lot of the same things that people struggle with, as well as just getting in, just starting the workout. You wake up in the morning, you set a time to work out. And for me, it's like I work from home. So it's like, okay, I should do a morning workout. I always feel great when I do a morning workout, but like you wake up and right now it's really dark here. Still early in the morning. The sun only rises like at 7:30, close to 8, and it sets
Yes.
sets sets really
Same.
early, and you don't have the motivation to do it. But stepping in there and doing maybe 5 minutes with the intention. Sometimes I'm like, okay, you know what? I can't picture myself doing a bunch of push-ups and a bunch of squats right now, but let me do some mobility exercises, a few leg swings, or walk on my treadmill for a couple minutes. I'm just going to do 5 minutes. And then
Hmm.
almost every single time I do more, right? Even if it's
Yeah.
just like 20 minutes instead of 5 minutes. In my case, that's kind of like that's a little less than what I typically do, but that's still,
Hmm.
5 times, 4 times more than what I had planned for that 5 minutes. And
Right.
yeah, just going in there and starting, like you said, 6 minutes. That's what you started with, and then now you're doing all sorts of things, and you have some new goals in 2024. And I'm just
Yeah.
absolutely so proud. What are
Thank you.
those big goals that you have, or little goals in 24? Are you the type to create New Year's resolutions, or do you kind of
So
day by day?
I don't like to call them resolutions because they're, to me, it's like, oh well, those are meant to fail. I mean, because
Yeah.
everybody fails their resolutions. So I do think about it more as goals, um, or milestones, or something. These are the things that I want to accomplish this year. I know that I'm planning another trip for January of 2025. Um, and I know that I plan on walking with people. So I'm hoping to get out, and whoever wants to walk with me, I want to walk with them, even if it's 5 minutes, but I
Hmm.
think it's going to be longer. That is my intention. And I want to, again, so I feel like I have to preface this, but I probably really don't. I still have physical disabilities. I still have back issues. I still use my scooter, and I walk with a cane, and I probably will walk with a cane for a very long time. Maybe the rest of my life, who knows? At this point right now, going up and down the stairs, I can go up and down faster than I could when I started, but I'm still walking one step at a time. I can't do both my legs, you
Yeah.
know. I hope to do that by the end of 2024, because I have not been able to do that for years. And see, that is one of those goals that somebody may think, what? But it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge goal. So yeah, I mean, those are a few. And like I mean, I want to walk my dog, my daughter's dog. I want to walk with them. I want to go outside and walk with them. So, and I have a fairly slanted driveway. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to start walking and up and down that, because that's the part that's going to be the hardest, I think.
Mm. No,
So
those are incredible goals, and they are definitely not small. Some people might think that, oh, those are minor goals, but those, especially in our community, there's a lot of people that can relate to those, and setting those for 2024. I think those are great, and I know you will achieve them.
yeah,
I know you're
me
trying your
too.
best to achieve them, and you're going to be continue to be consistent in 2024. I feel your energy, and I think just great things are coming your way and are ahead of
Thank
you.
you.
And I love your vibe. I love the way that you create your content. It makes me happy. So I hope you continue to
Oh,
do that. I think the
thank you.
the affirmation side it's a great idea right now. Like every video that you're doing is your workout, but like I think that side of you is really important. How you have a lot to say about self-talk and talking to yourself in a certain way, and the battle between these two voices, and obviously that positive voice was the big winner in 2023. um I'm not trying to give you creative advice, but I think it definitely will help people, because that's where it starts, right? Like that's the mental part is as important, if not more important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
And
But I mean, I'm no expert on it, but I know what works for me.
well, that's how you've been sharing your journey since the beginning. It's
Yeah.
your personal diary, right? Like it's
Yeah.
you yourself being accountable, but I can tell you firsthand that it's helping thousands of people. I'm comfortable to say thousands because every time I post about you, I look at the views obviously, but I get these DMs of them thinking that it's you, and I sent you a few screenshots, but I'll continue to
Yeah.
send them your
Thank
way,
you.
and they're so encouraging, and um I'm sure you don't know, but there's many lives I'm sure that you're helping right now, and probably have saved, and just keep doing what you're doing it for yourself first and foremost. But I think we're both in this now, right?
I
We're,
think so.
yeah,
Who knew?
it's become a
When you
thing.
first when you first asked me if you could post on Instagram, I was like, oh, horrified. No, no, you can't. Because then everyone's gonna see me that I know. And then I thought, no, for some reason I trust you, so I'm gonna do it. I let you.
Yeah, I always ask permission because, I know you posted on TikTok, but TikTok is different from Instagram.
Yeah,
Instagram, you mostly have like your friends and family and people that you actually know, whereas TikTok was a cool way. That's how I started too on TikTok. I'm like, I don't know anyone that has TikTok, but I want to share my workouts and have fun with
yeah,
it. And then suddenly people started finding me there, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Like it's helping people, so why not? Let's just
yeah.
continue doing it. So
Well,
I would
and I
love to.
just I mean I just started really using, using YouTube.
Mhm.
And so this is going to be a new platform for me. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, but
Well, you have great content, and I'm sure it'll work out. And
thank you.
I want to help you push it. So, whatever
Okay,
the link is, send it to me. I'll put it in the
okay.
description. I'll maybe post it um,
Thank
on
you.
top of the screen. I guess I'll post this as a podcast. That was one of my goals in 2024, is to be more consistent with my podcast. And I had a few people. Well, I had actually one or two guests in 2023, and you're actually my first guest in
Oh,
2024. So thank you for that. It's
thank you.
actually very, very special. I was really looking forward to hearing about your story, and I want to collaborate with you a lot more uh,
Yes,
this
I would
year.
love to.
I mean, you're creative too, so whatever ideas you have, and I'm creative too, so I'll think of some stuff. But
Okay.
um, even if I get to meet you in person, that would be so much fun. I would love to walk with you, or if you have like that walking challenge, let me know when it is. It would be cool. I want to join it. Yeah, so I would love to meet you. You inspire me so
Thank
much.
you.
And
You did say, I'm telling you, you really did save my life because you are the only person, the first person that I saw that wanted to help somebody who's sedentary.
mm,
Everybody, all the other videos I've ever seen, it's still some of the chair workouts still weren't helping. So you really were the first person. So keep doing what you're doing because it's helping. It's
Thank
helping.
you. Thank you. And that's my life's purpose. I think I truly found it, and it's an honor to be part of your journey, and
Thank you.
to be seeing your journey unfold. I'm excited for what's to happen in 2024 and beyond, and even with the ups and downs. And you've been through, the ups and downs, and you know how to get through it. So continue with that. Let's do more of this. Let's chat a bit more, and
Yes, I'd love to.
I'd love to see maybe midway or quarterly through the year, and just to see where everything's at and just to chat.
Awesome. I'm down for it.
Great. Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.